by Marie Todd, MSP. Please welcome Stewart Stevenson, who is today celebrating his 70th birthday.
As I spent 30 years in computers, I count in hexadecimal. I'm 46. Convener and colleagues, today we read of the UK Tory Prime Minister recognising the plight of Nissan workers in the north east of England, rightly recognising the fallout of Tory political misjudgments. Today we have heard nothing from a Tory Prime Minister about the needs of fishing communities in the north east of Scotland and beyond. Fishermen whose rights were taken away when the Tories took us into the common fisheries policy. We in the SNP opposed the common fisheries policy from the outset. My first speech in Parliament 15 years ago was on the CFP. It's a policy that sees the majority of the fish caught in our waters being loaded into the holds of foreign vessels. A policy that diverts economic benefit of fish caught in our waters away from our communities. A policy that sees our government able to stop fishing when conservation requires, but only to stop Scottish vessels fishing, not able to stop vessels from, for example, Spain. Fishermen agree that an appropriate fishing policy is driven by conservation, economic development and good food policy. The CFP promotes none of these effectively. When people in fishing communities voted in June, they did not, repeat not, buy into xenophobic hatred, sign up to a hauling of the drawbridge up, support any proposal to leave the market and damn the consequences, or any other proposal emanating from the Tory extremists. They were on the same policy page as us, with our arguments dating from the days of the late SNP MEP Alan McCartney, who campaigned tirelessly for the return of local control and local benefit from the catching of wild fish. But of course, fishing is more than simply catching. Fish processing workers are under threat from an exit from the single market. The EU is the most valuable market for fish in the world, and the species they take are the most valuable from our catches. Any tariff, any administrative barrier that distances us from our markets would be deeply damaging. And labour from across mainland Europe and beyond is also vital. The secondary schools in my constituency have a couple of dozen languages. People who have come here to work to fill the gaps that our local labour force cannot. Polish dentists, skilled workers in fish factories. We welcome you, and you are making critically important contributions to our economy and to our culture. How are our fishing interests being protected now? We need, we expect, and of course we are getting support from all the ministerial team, especially from Fergus Ewing, our Fisheries Minister, and now from Mike Russell, our Negotiations Minister. By contrast, the UK Tory government's Brexit Committee may have a wee bit of a wee manny, their sole Scottish MP, to provide a fig leaf of cover, appearance, not reality, in the difficult negotiations to come. Now, he is a man with whom I have a reasonable personal relationship. But sorry, David, you are a man with no relationship to fishing interests. We need to think bigger. We need to think more effectively. The future of the fishermen of Newlyn, as well as the fishermen of our north east, the fishermen of England's West Country, as well as the fishermen of our west coast, are all at risk of another sellout of fishing interests at the hands of the Tories, at risk of access of our fishing grounds being handed back to Spain in exchange for some broader support on an issue of much less importance to our fishing communities. We need a minister leading fishing negotiations for whom fishing is of central importance, not merely a peripheral issue. And the minister that can most effectively discharge that responsibility? It has to be a Scottish minister leading for all the fishing interests in the UK. There's nothing novel about that. I used to lead for the UK when I was in Environment Councils on issues in particular with Spain. Fishing has been central to the history of many Scottish communities. It has to be central to their future as well. It's a cruel industry. There's a little chapel in Buckie, which is a large number of plaques commemorating people who've been lost at sea in the industry. Don't let the next plaque on the wall be a memorial to the loss of our fishing industry.
Thank you, Stewart.